Welcome back to Solo Marvel Champion. Today I'm playing against Ebony Maw with Captain Marvel. Now, I'm not going to play Captain Marvel on every video for the rest of the year. This will be my last Captain Marvel video. I know I've played her a lot recently, but at least for me, I think she has been my favorite hero in 2024. You've actually seen this deck. I played this against a vampire in my Halloween video. But I have made a few tweaks to it. I've added Vigilante Training, which is a card I'd completely forgotten about, because she does like to go down to Alter Ego pretty often. So while I'm down there, let's use Vigilante Training to shuffle an Upside the Head back into the deck. Alright. We're going to discard until we get a spell. And then everything that was discarded, in this case only one, gets shuffled back in. Then, when stage 2 is revealed, we're going to do that again, but we don't get to shuffle everything back in. So we're going to go till we get a... Now, losing those two is very nice. It's a Treachery, which is also good to see leave. Exhaustion is good to see, and now we have Fireball. So, like I say, I am going to steal some activations from Ebony Maw with Stun and Confuse, but I don't get the Confuse, or I don't get the full Confuse or Stun lock. Just going to take away some of his activations, and taking away activations means these count down slower. That is why it is really good to see a Channeling Trance get discarded, because that removes one from everything. Now, I'd love to see either Spider-Woman or Professor X in my opening hand. I'd also really like to see the Upside the Head. That way I can flip up, be confused from my minion, and then Upside the Head will also stun. Sonic Rifle isn't terrible if I can't find a minion. Okay. So, this pays for Float Like a Butterfly. These two pay for Sonic Rifle. And let's just discard Build Support. See if I can get an Upside the Head, which I won't even be able to pay for. Yes, I will, because I'll be able to draw. And I did get an Upside the Head. Look at that. So now I'll use Commander and draw one card. Cosmic Flight is a card I should use more than I do. I just don't use it. So we're going to flip up. I'm going to pay 2 for Float Like a Butterfly. When a character you control attacks a confused enemy, increase the amount of damage by 1. So let's do 1, 2, 3 for Sonic Rifle, which has 2 charges. And we're going to go ahead and use one of those charges to confuse the enemy, or the villain. I guess it is to an enemy. Now I'm going to attack that confused enemy, and because of Flow Like a Butterfly, my 2 becomes a 3. So I attack for 3, and I spend 1 for Upside the Head. Hero response: after your hero makes a basic attack and damages an enemy, confuse that enemy. If that enemy was already confused, stun them instead. So let's ready and draw 5. Chamber would be good to get down. Cypher would be really good to get down, because he's going to draw me an extra card. If I can pay for Cypher and he draws me an Energy Absorption, a triple, that would be really good. 1 goes on the main. He cannot attack. And 1 card. Landing Craft has 2. Discard cards from the top when this is defeated until a minion is discarded. Then we get that minion. Okay. Let's start. I think I'm fine with this Landing Craft just giving me an acceleration. Let's do 2 for Cypher. After Cypher attacks and damages a confused enemy, draw a card. So he's going to attack for 1, but it's actually 2 because Float Like a Butterfly. Takes a consequential, and he draws me a card because that enemy is confused. Power of Justice. Boy, if I had one more card here, and I will because I am going to go down. So let's thwart for 2 here and flip down. I'm going to draw a card with Commander, and I get my triple. I actually wish that had not been a triple, and I had drawn that next turn. If that had been anything else that's disposable, I could just use all of this to play Chamber. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3 for Chamber. Chamber takes -1 consequential damage after he attacks a confused enemy. And Float Like a Butterfly says he deals +1 damage. So he's going to attack Ebony Maw, deal 3 damage, and not take consequential damage. Let's go ahead and ready. Give me something here to confuse. Energy Channel I won't say no to. Chance Encounter I can put there. Arrows, come on, give me something to confuse. Or Alpha Flight. Cosmic Flight, I don't know. I'm undecided. Oh, and Sonic Rifle's going to confuse, so that's fine. This puts 2 on. He cannot scheme. I get 1 counter card. This card gains Surge. When revealed, discard a card at random. That's interesting. That would have been the one I'd gotten if I'd cleared Landing Craft, so I kind of should have just gone ahead and done it. And there's the Chance Encounter I wanted, darn it. Okay, so let's draw a card. Alpha Flight. Quinn Carrier is really good, but I can't really afford it right now. And if I play Eros, I can confuse Outrider, and Cypher can take him out because he'll deal +1 damage. But before I do that, maybe I decide to clear this, and by clearing it, I then have another minion out, which Eros could also confuse. So let's think about it for a second. I don't need to recover, so let's just flip up. I think I will go ahead and use Chamber to thwart this off. When defeated, I discard till I get a minion. Ha, goodbye, Shadow of the Past. And Master Plan. That's a Rubble Storm, not a minion. Black Dwarf. His attacks gain overkill, and he attacks for big. Okay. Now I am going to use this double to play Eros. And since I am calling both of those wilds mental, both of these guys are going to be confused. Now, Cypher can attack this one, dealing +1 damage because of Float Like a Butterfly and draw me a card, and he is defeated. Then this is going to end up hurting a bit, and I can't get I can get a confuse, but I can't get a stun here. The real question is, attacking and getting him down to 5 doesn't solve the problem that he represents. It's Energy Channel. Put 1 energy into it. I'm going to attack for 2, which is actually 3. And Eros is going to attack for 1, which is actually 2. And I'm going to pop energy channel to get rid. Do I do that, or do I just attack Ebony Maw? I think in this case, and then arrows can block. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get rid of him. And then I'm going to use that to play Vigilante Training and hope in this draw that I can get an upside the head. Genius. There's a Vigilante Training, another one. Crisis Interdiction, and another Flow Like a Butterfly. So I can at the very least get Quinn Carrier down and use Quinn Carrier to put another Vigilante Training into play. So one goes on, he is attacking an arrow. Oh, when he attacks, this is an interrupt, these come down. He is going to block, that's 2/3, and he is gone. One encounter card. I think in my game with Nebula against Ebony Maw, I forgot and missed every time that these surge when they come in this way. When he comes in, I discard a card at random from my hand. This will end up being either Quinn Carrier or Vigilante Training. Genius, which helped me play Quinn Carrier. So I think I thwart 2 here, and I'd really like to attack there because Outrider is only going to scheme for 1. So I am going to attack here, which is actually 3 because of Float Like a Butterfly, and he does not take a consequential because he's confused. So let's flip down, use Commander to draw a card. 1, 2, 3 for Quinn Carrier. Oh, I can't play Quinn Carrier. I can't play Quinn Carrier because I'm not currently an Avenger. So let's just use 1 for Vigilante Training. And I'm going to use each of these to shuffle 2 events back into the deck. We're going to do an upside the head. That was the only upside of the head, so let's also do a For Justice. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to keep these and draw 4. There's an upside the head. There's a sonic rifle. There's another upside the head. Okay. One goes on the main. Ebony Maw cannot scheme. This guy does, and I get 1 encounter card. Attach to the friendly character with the highest attack and exhaust it. The attached hero cannot ready. Do I spend physical energy to ready? Okay. Let's use Commander to draw a card. Another Float Like a Butterfly. Doesn't help. And I also need to play a Sonic Rifle. 1, 2, 3 for Sonic Rifle. I can't also get the Quinn Carrier. 1, 2, 3 for Quinn Carrier. 1, 2, 3 for Sonic Rifle. And then I don't get upside the head. So I can't play Quinn Carrier here. So let's do 1, 2, 3 for Sonic Rifle. Let's flip up. I'm just going to attack here to defeat the Outrider. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to Sonic Rifle to confuse Ebony Maw And then attack for 2, which is actually 3, because of confuse and float like a butterfly. And use crisis interdiction to play upside the head. He is now also stunned. It's not exactly how I wanted that turn to go, but it is fine. And I cannot ready him. I need energy and physical to get rid of this, so I am going to keep that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Photonic Blast is going to knock him out. I can put an energy channel down. Okay. If I want to. I only have 1 physical, and that's Photonic Blast. Do I use that on Chamber? All that does is discard this. That doesn't ready him, so I still have to wait for the ready. I could also energy channel, put 5 on it, and get rid of this. So that might actually be what I do. 1 goes on the main. I do need to worry about this. He cannot attack. He attacks for 1, which is totally fine. I get 1 encounter card. Prevent damage. If it prevents 2, discard it. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'd love to get rid of this, but I need to attack for 2 to get rid of this. I think I am going to use that. I'm going to use energy, physical to discard restrained. I'm going to put energy channel down and pump 5 into it. Before I pump 5 into it, because that's an action, I can do that while I'm down. Let's flip down to Alter Ego and draw a card. That's why. But I can play Spider-Woman, but doing it right now does me almost no good. Well, except that 1 will go on and heal Scheme. So I could use Spider-Woman to knock this down. Before we forget, let's use these 2. Put an upside the head and an upside the head. I know I should have more in there now. Back into the deck and hopefully draw them. At least 1 of them. I only need 1 of them. So I think I do play Spider-Woman. The confuse is wasted, but I could confuse. Oh, that's only confuse the villain. I was going to say I can confuse him, but I can't. But then she is going to knock 2 off of here. Then I'm going to put 2 energy onto energy channel. That's ready. Draw 6. Hopefully, 1 of those is going to be an upside the head. For Justice is nice, because that's going to go up to 4. Dazzler doesn't do me much good right now. Upside the head, thank you. Upside the head, I don't need. Professor could be good as well. And the Crisis Interdiction. 1 goes on. He cannot scheme. He schemes for 1. 1 encounter card. This is a spell with 2 counters, which surges. When revealed, each minion engaged activates against that player. So it's going to scheme for 1 more. That is activates, right? Each minion engaged with a player activates against him. Okay, that's good. I'm glad I knocked that down. All right. One of these 3 cards is Alpha Flight. Is it the first one? These should actually be here. Let's use Commander to draw a card. Not Alpha Flight. It's another copy of Upside the Head. Now, I can do some healing up there, so that's fine. What do I want to do? Spider-Woman's going to knock out him and be knocked out herself. And I'm fine with that because I'm getting ready to shuffle. Let's flip up. Use that energy to heal 1 and draw a card. Ah, 4 Justice. That means this last card is Alpha Flight. Okay, let's do... I need to keep 1 upside the head. 1, 2, 3 for Professor X. Professor X confuses and takes 3 off of here. I am going to attack for 2, which is actually 3 because he's confused. Chamber. Let's use that 4 Justice for upside the head for the stun as well. Chamber is going to attack for 3, which is or 2, which is actually 3 because of the confuse. Knock him out and not take consequential because that's his thing. We're going to flip. He has 23 health, and we discard until we get a spell and put it into play. Another manipulation. Okay. Now, I could, trying to decide if I want to use Dazzler here to put another counter on here and then hit him for 6. Or if I want to hold on to Dazzler. Let's do that. Let's put a 3rd counter on and then top this, since I'm getting ready to shuffle, to deal 6 damage. Let's ready 1 and get an encounter card. 2, 3. Cypher's going to be great. 4. Got Dazzler back. 5. Okay. 1 goes on. Ebony Maw cannot attack. You get 2 encounter cards. Let's let Ebony Maw attack. Nothing will pop, and Professor can block. Deal 1 damage to your hero for each spell environment in play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I take 5. It's a big hit. And then this is a guard who, when defeated, will give him tough. Let's move him over here. So something I do when I get to editing, I usually slide the video portion to the right because I've got the sidebar over here. With the sidebar, that gives me, basically 168 pixels or something, or maybe it's even double that I can move the video over. So that's why a lot of times you'll see that I've cut off my discard piles. I do that so that I can put stuff out to the left here and have it still be on screen. Okay, I am down in health. I do have Alpha Flight. Let's start. And Professor X is gone. Let's start with... I've got to get rid of him, and that gives him a tough. So we can do... I'll attack for 2. Chamber will attack for 2 to defeat him. And Ebony Maw gets the tough. We'll play Cypher with that Power of Justice. We're going to attack for 1 to knock off that tough. And because that's a confused villain, I draw a card. Eros is actually good here because he can take some of that threat down for me. I'm also considering shooting for 3 with Sonic Rifle since he's confused, but I'm going to save that for next turn. So I think, and I can play Eros when I'm in Alter Ego. So let's flip down. I'm going to draw a card with Commander. There's an upside the head, which would have been nice. Let's use Photonic Blast for Alpha Flight. And Alpha Flight, discard Dazzler to draw 2. Choose those 2 for Eros, and there are no minions for me to confuse, but he is going to take 2 off of there. Took me way too long to get Alpha Flight set up because it was the last card in the deck. I am going to hold on to that upside the head, though. Come on, give me an energy channel now. Vigilante training is fine because there is an upside the head in there, so that'll be okay. 1 goes on, he cannot scheme, and I get 1 encounter card. Family Emergency. I am going to exhaust to remove that from the game. That's unfortunate because I wanted to heal there, but it's not terrible. Let's draw a card with Commander. There's my Quinn Carrier. I think I will be able to play that now. Since I have it and will be able to play it, let's discard Build Support to Alpha Flight to draw 2. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Well, come on. 3 for Quinn Carrier. And let's use... Oh, I can't play Quinn Carrier again because I'm down here. So I have to do that when I'm up. I don't have any side schemes. Let's use Chance Encounter for Vigilante Training. And we are going to go ahead and take 1 of those off to shuffle that upside the head back in. Problem here is me being exhausted means I cannot attack. And if I can't attack, I can't play upside the head. Let's just flip up. Now we'll do that 3 for Quinn Carrier. I'm going to use Sonic Rifle to confuse. This goes away. Let's have Cypher attack for 1, which is actually 2. And draw me a card. There's Energy Channel. That'll only deal 6. Chamber is going to attack for 2, which is actually 3 because of the confuse, and not take consequential damage. I think I have Eros block here, so I'm not going to do that. Let's Energy Channel and put 2 on it. And then use Quinn Carrier to generate an energy to heal me 1 and draw a card. Another upside the head, which is unnecessary. So let's get rid of 1 of those and draw up. One goes on the main. He attacks, and that is interrupted by each of these ticking down. Eros blocks, that's 2, 3, and Eros is gone. 1 encounter card. Now, with 3 of these about to pop, this will be 1 of those that takes 1 off of each. No, that's not bad. Landing Craft has 2. When defeated, discard until we get a minion. So, I don't think I need to worry about that too much. I think we've got it. I think we've got it. I can attack for 2, which is 3. Chamber attacks and that knocks him out. So yeah, I am going to attack for 2, which is actually 3. Chamber is going to attack for 2, which is actually 3, and not take consequential damage. I'm going to pump, I could pump it full. Energy, energy, energy. Gets this up to 5. And I will pop energy channel to deal 10. And that is Expert Ebony Maw. Much easier when you can lock down his activations. I really do like this deck. I know in my Halloween game I said I like this deck when you're not playing a steady villain. If the villain isn't steady, and definitely if it's not stalwart, I like this deck quite a bit. I do have it linked in the description. And I also have some other videos and other decks linked within the description of this deck. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what I missed. I hope you have a marvelous day.